Hello everyone, it's Ren here. I wanted to offer some thoughts on a question that I'm often asked either by email or in YouTube comments. Now this question comes from, not from INFJs, but specifically from non-INFJs who are eager to catch the attention of INFJs, to maybe locate INFJs. So maybe in the order of things, we would move from locating INFJs first of all, because they're supposed to be rare, then catching their attention, then holding their attention, then maybe becoming friends with INFJs, keeping INFJs as friends. Maybe you could say in some cases go so far as to date an INFJ and have a family with an INFJ, what have you. So basically how to, these people, and you'd be surprised, like they're quite common. These people, they are not INFJ, they are quite clear and comfortable with the idea of not being INFJ, but they seem to be equally clear and comfortable with the idea of wanting INFJs in their life. Right? These people, for some reason, and I can't say I completely understand the logic of it, but they seem to want INFJs in their life, and so they would ask me, and presumably they maybe ask other INFJ writers or INFJ content producers this very question. So I suppose in this video I will answer this question and there will be many INFJs watching this answer as well, so I'm eager for their opinion on this, to see if they agree with me or not. So to be completely honest and upfront, this kind of eager demand or request is kind of always a little bit uncomfortable to me, I guess, as a content producer, but also as an INFJ myself. And I suspect, if you like, that this unease that I feel about this like very intensively expressed interest in having me in their life, or having INFJs like me in their life, it puts me off a little bit, to be completely honest. It puts me off, and I suspect it would put other INFJs off. I was thinking about it earlier, trying to figure out whence this feeling came from, and the analogy that came to mind, the first analogy that came to mind, is the analogy with the Jewish people. Jewish people, there are people who are anti-Semitic, say, or something like that, and then there are people who are just like, they don't say that they're anti-Semitic, but they are really, really interested in Jews. They seem to be really, really interested in Jewish people, fascinated by Jewish people. And you sort of want to ask yourself, why are people so interested in Jewish people? People who are about whom no evidence suggests that they are anti-Semitic, but since they just have this fixated notion that Jewish people are fascinating, rather than Arabic people or Asian people, Indian or people from Bangladesh or whatever it might be. Usually Jewish people find that suspicious. The obsession with a particular class of person just usually bodes nothing good, right? And I'm not saying that INFJs are the Jews of the personality types, but they have this kind of fascination. They exert this kind of fascination for some people that you might argue Jews exert as well in some circumstances. So I would usually say, the reality is, you're never going to be able to force events so that an INFJ or several INFJs are brought into your life, are brought into your social circle. There's no formula. In fact, it's likely to be extremely counterproductive, because the behavior of people who are like that usually would be like super positive. Like if they know that you're an INFJ, they'll keep telling you, oh, you INFJ, this is so awesome, I love INFJs, and so on. There's nothing is more of a turn off than this. So I would just say, like, try to stop feeling this weird fascination and let things happen. You know, if it must happen, it will happen. But usually it will happen as a result of person to person. There's a train that's passing by. I'm in a house where there is like lots of trains. The train tracks are right there, so it will be a person to person thing. It won't be a person to type thing or type to type thing. INFJs are not exceptional people. You know, INFJs are like any other type of people, or people of certain types. Among them are people who are brilliant. Among them are people who are normal, everyday. Among them are people who are admirable and people who are not admirable. People who are brave, people who are cowardly, people who have lots of virtues, people who have lots of vices. You know, there's nothing that really tells you anything about any of these things just from the knowledge that someone is an INFJ. So just wanting INFJs in your life just doesn't make a lot of sense, and INFJs will notice this. So let it happen organically if it must, and if it happens organically, that's great, but you'll see that it will happen on the basis of finding particular chemistry with a person and not with a type. So I would say just don't try to engineer things like these. It will pretty much never work out. Okay, so anyway, these were my thoughts. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are, including other INFJs if you agree with me. And don't forget that I have written, Elodie will be entertained by this, Out of Thin Air, my book on the INFJ, The Infinite Soul, INFJ Life in the Modern World. Get a copy, the link is below. It's my new book on the INFJ, finding meaning, finding purpose, finding rich and fulfilling lives in the contemporary world with all its vicissitudes and difficulties for people of the INFJ persuasion. This is the sequel to the Exotic Soul book, which you might already be aware of. It's a few years old now. A man and a woman. This one is more about the INFJ psyche. This one is about INFJs in the world. So if you haven't got these books, get them. It's a nice combo of books to get. Give me a thumbs up, and drop a thumbs up if you like this video, and leave reviews on my books. Always helps with the referencing. I also have a Patreon page which you can support down there in the description box. So I'll see you next week, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care. Bye bye.